Hi, welcome to Talk About Paint Club. We are the two loneliest artists not at DCon.
Oh, I'm not lonely.
I know. Just a bunch of people were like, "Are you having FOMO?" So I thought it'd be funny since you and I didn't really care to be like, we're the lonely bitches not at DCon. We're the sole artists not in Anaheim at this very moment.
There you go. I'm Rick Strohmeyer, and my drug of choice is the love and joy I get from Jesus Christ. Just kidding, it's weed. All right.
I was gonna say I don't know who my Lord and Savior is since I'm obviously a half Jew, and today I'm wearing my Christmas stuff.
Well, there you go. That's all right. You're just swinging multicultural tonight, or multifaceted. That's all right. All right. So let's see. All right. So let's see. We are on. It's December the 16th, 2023. This is the last show of the year. We will see everybody in January. So we'll be doing 2 dead weeks in a row before we go back. So thanks to everybody for joining us, watching as live or as recorded. Thanks so much. Hey Dylan,
pre-recorded.
This is yes, welcome to the pre-recorded show.
If you're watching this pre-recorded.
Great catch, Nicole. That's perfect. All right, so let's see. So we have a color of the month, which is a pasty pale yellow, green.
I've been calling it pistachio.
Pistachio. That's good enough for me. I've been painting with that the past 3 weeks. So yeah, winner. Hey David and David. Did I say Dylan?
You did because you're so used to his ass.
I'm used to Dylan being the first one here. So hi David. Much apologies. So let's see. So we got the color of the month. We got time off. Let's see what else we got. That's all the housekeeping I got. So the big question is, Nicole, what are you drinking tonight?
I got my tea because I gotta go bake cookies after this for the children.
Well, there you go. Don't mix your cookie stuff up. There you go.
It's not. I have French butter cookies and like those. What are the cocoa crackle cookies?
Oh,
like
yummy dum
dum. Yeah,
that's all right. For those of you who don't know,
them, it's for like everyone. I'm like, oh boy.
There you go. There you go. Anybody who doesn't know, Nicole is a pretty world-class baker, and she knows her shit around the baked good aisle. So
somebody else was like, or like multiple people asked me, they're like, "Oh, you're making cupcakes?" I'm like, "No way in hell," because that would take me like hours after this, and no way in hell. The cookie dough is already in the fridge, like chilling for the next 2 hours or whatever we're doing.
Yeah, it'll probably be an hour and a half. I am really tired from this week, from today, and just it's been a crazy few days.
What are you drinking? It looks like water, but I'm usually wrong. Actually, no, that does not look like water. That is white.
It's eggnog.
Really? But is it with the rum?
No. I didn't spike it because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do any painting tonight or not. But I'm pretty tired, so like I don't need to have any booze in my system for what's after this event. So yeah. Yeah, plain old eggnog, but we're going to be going up to Alicia's folks for Christmas, so I'm probably going to make either a boozy eggnog that we can all share or a white chocolate liqueur that we could all enjoy. Today, while going into the Mary Market, I go buy cupcakes from the store. Unbox them and call them. Wow, your airbrushing on that is amazing.
That would be the most satanic thing that I could ever have.
I don't know, dude. Sometimes, like, I can see the humor. The humor is beautiful, but like, people know my quality of cupcake.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people would be like,
they know that frosting is going to be amazing, but it's going to look like it was pushed on by a 2-year-old. So.
And they'll see the store-bought ones and look at mine and be like, ma'am, that is not how you decorate a cupcake.
So yeah, no. So like today, going into the Mary Market, first time doing this event, and like I passed by this company or booth that's selling margarita mixes galore, and I was like, oh, I know your product. I enjoy this. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, and they make a jalapeno margarita mix. I was like, my wife's going to be here later. She's going to be. I know she's going to be buying some of your stuff. It's just like I was not in this mood to spend money.
She?
Yeah. Nice. But they wouldn't know her from Adam, so it's all right. But I was like, yeah.
You know who really loved margaritas? Jen.
Who's that?
That bitch got me to drink tequila, and I was like, okay, that's a feat amongst men. And I was like, all right, girl. She loved some margarita.
I love margaritas. Yeah, so I was like, well, I was pretty much thinking that we were probably going to do something one night with Mexican food up there, so we still might. But I was like, oh, yeah. If not, it's fine. The stuff they had was all frozen. It was frozen in bottles, and it can stay frozen for a while. And since we just acquired a teeny tiny freezer for the basement, more power to us. Like there's ice cream sandwiches and pot pie in it, and now freezer now that, and we put a lot of seasonal shit. We put a lot of seasonal shit in the freezer, like cinnamon ice cream and peppermint ice cream sandwiches, and and chicken pot pie. Because you can't find chicken pot pie up here in the summer. It's kind of hard.
I have to send you this recipe for this. It's like kind of like a dump like thing, like one of those like dump meals. You get like a rotisserie chicken, or you can cook your own chicken if you feel like it. And you basically just like throw in a casserole dish that with vegetables, like whatever the fuck you want, because I do not like what they used in it. And I was like, nope. And then I do it reverse from how he does it, because I like the layer of like that crust on top, like versus the guy makes it like a cobbler, but I like to have the crust on top. So I should say how I do it. It's like the chicken, it's cream of chicken soup mixed with like chicken stock. You pour that on top, and then you pour Cheddar Bay biscuit mix from Red Lobster mixed with milk on top of that, and you bake it, and the shit forms like that cornbread like biscuity type of thing, and that shit just makes like the hell of a pot pie type vibe, and it is so fucking good.
Send me a link.
It's like one of those like, awesome. Oh, absolutely, I will. And the way that the way he does the instructions, he's like, I don't give a fuck if you don't want to use it. Use whatever the fuck you want. And I was like, all right, I will use whatever the fuck I want. Because he's like,
well, then it was tailored for you.
Whatever you want. I'm like, all right, good.
It was tailored for you.
And it's one of those things that's like, if your ass only has like frozen stuff at home, like at the time, and you're like, I don't really want to buy, or like whatever, you can literally just go get a chicken.
Right on.
Because my ass has like, sometimes it has like Bisquick, like I just have that chilling in my fridge, like in the cupboard all the time. But like the Cheddar Bay biscuit, obviously I had to buy like on my own. But if you don't have that, you can just do Bisquick and like mix whatever kind of like seasoning into it, and like
send me the link. I'll try that next week.
I was gonna say you're from one of those like families that probably did exactly what mine did. Oh, it's cheap and
No,
it's fast, or it's
nope.
cheap. No,
Dad just took us to a Mexican restaurant. There was one like 2 miles away, and like once mom's business in real estate went really well, and just started interfering with all my dad's daily routine. He was just like, all right, get up, we're going to go to Avila's today. And we'd go there 2-3 times a week. We had a very specific table that we sat at, and yeah, my dad would leave a note for my mom, because this is before the age of a lot of cell phone use, and he would just be like, "Oh, we've gone to Avila's." And then one day, he just said, "Guess where?" And she showed up. Mom would always show up, and we were about done with dinner, and that's fine. But yeah, we ate well, I think my mom once figured out like a crazy amount of money that was spent there, and
I could
my
imagine.
dad once said he's like, we should be owning that table. Like, yes, that should be like, ooh, God himself shining a light on that table.
Specifically, it's just the Strohmeyer table.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, like when they sold their business, like by the time they sold their business, we stopped going there, because they went like a couple years before they sold, they went no smoking, and my dad was pissed. Like, he wouldn't go to any restaurant that went no smoking. So
did he just stop eating by the time he died?
No, he just stopped going out to restaurants.
Oh
We would go, he'd go to one. We'd go to one of two that was outside city limits. He hated visiting me because Minnesota was smoke free, and except for patios, and then and then eventually Minnesota went patios were smoke free too. He hated visiting because like we would, when we'd eat out, which is like some of the better places to eat. Of course, I didn't let him smoke in my house either. So he'd sit out and smoke in the backyard, and play with the dog. Sounds like a shitty life, right?
No, yeah. When I picked up Devil's Not from the airport like a few weeks ago, he was like, "Can I smoke in your car?" And I was like, "No." He's like, even if I lean it out the window, I'm like, "No." Because I quit. Like, I smoked when I was like young, like really young, and I quit when I was like 20. It's like I smoked for a good like from 13 to 20. It was bad, and like now that I'm obviously 13 years of not smoking, like the smell of it makes me want to vomit. It's disgusting.
Right. Well, I see somebody smoking nowadays, and I'm like, people still do that? But it's like,
especially with vapes, I'm like, really? You have so many options now.
Well, like, so I had one guy, like when Alicia and I started dating, and we had a party at my house, because I used to I have parties at my house like once a month, and like one day this dude whips out his vape, and she was pissed, and of course I wasn't paying attention because I wasn't in that room or on that floor, and she was like, he just whipped it out and started. All of a sudden, I just smell like burnt Starburst. I'm like, oh. And then and next time I saw him, which was not like with a few days, I was like, Gary, we don't vape in my house. Oh, sorry. Like, I guess I should have asked you. But also, like, after one of my big parties, I had a rule of no White House allowed in my house, or White Castle. No White Castle allowed in my house.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
White House.
No White Castle, because like I had White Castle once, and it was like, please don't ask me to eat this again. Not because of Alicia, but like I had it once, and I was like, never again. And then these guys all got drunk, and they walked the half a mile to get to White Castle, and then they came back with it, and like that shit was in my garbage for like 10 hours. I was like, oh my gosh, that smells disgusting. And and the smell lingered around for a while. So like, next party, I was very much, when I was sitting out, when I was letting people know, and even the same guys who brought it, I was like, by the way, White Castle is not allowed in my house. You guys can eat it. You can eat it outside. You can throw your garbage outside in the back of your car or whatever. Oh, okay. So instead of ordering, oh gosh, here's what you do. If you want to ever try White Castle, Kevin, do you have any nephews or nieces that
you've never had
that's fine. I had to wait till I was like 32 to eat White Castle. But here's what you do: if you have any
Oh my god, I
nieces
could
or
tell you how to
nephews
get to
with,
the closest one to me.
yeah, if you know anybody who has Play-Doh, get some Play-Doh, roll it up into a ball, put it under your armpit for about 3-4 minutes. After that, take it out, bite it, and be happy you weren't eating White Castle. So yeah,
That is the most, like, in my mind, unfactual fucking system ever.
yeah. There you go. It's like my time with a foodie taught me
That's
that
no, don't yuck. You're gonna try. I'm gonna bring it to you. You're gonna try it. Don't listen to him right now.
Because like once you get it nice and rolled up and you put it in your armpit, you get that moist factor that is the White Castle. But yeah, oh, I love hamburgers, Kevin. I'll do a hamburger tour of any town I'm in. I fucking love hamburgers, but that isn't a hamburger. That's meat-based Play-Doh. That's what that shit is. So yeah, you look at the can of Play-Doh and it is.
I'm so upset.
It contains gluten, and I've worked with enough special ed kids and watched them eat it to know it doesn't hurt them. So
I'm so depressed by this whole conversation.
Pink's like, no, Play-Doh. You got to get the right consistency, Kev. Yeah, Play-Doh. Like not even like generic brand Play-Doh. You got to get Oh, I love gluten too. Well, you can eat Play-Doh and it's got gluten in it. It's cool. But yeah.
we used to make Play-Doh with flour back in the day. Huh? Flour, salt, and I forgot what the other thing was. Water?
No, probably glue.
Or glue, yeah. I was just saying, wait, it's not water because that's a pie crust, bitch. So, like,
so yeah, like. All right, so let's see.
My brain is still on baking. Okay, first of all, Kevin, I'm going to bring you it. I know Dylan's not on here, so nobody's going to understand this reference. But if I hopped on the highway right now and I drove south towards New York City, got off exit 13, Connor Street, took a right, took a left, went 3 blocks down, there's going to be a White Castle that's on the right. And I know that from all of the times when I was a very, very, very high 19-year-old driving to White Castle.
Well, that's all right. You don't have to. Then you know what? If you're more of a silly putty guy, that means you'll never fucking eat it, and that's fine. That's fine. Like, you don't need to have white. You don't need to put White Castle in your life. You don't. Shit sucks. It's dreadful.
Are you fucking kidding me? There's one an hour away from you, and you've never tried it, at least just to do it.
Dude, you don't. Why?
With all the weed
you don't need to. You don't need to, Kev. Give it up.
You tried it, though.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Friends don't let friends eat White Castle. There we go. All right, moving on. Moving on. All right. What have you been doing lately, young lady?
Oh my God, I want to send you the video. I mean, it's on my Instagram, so I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it because I posted it like 3 times. Or I shared it, but I want to send it to you so badly for you to play here because I don't know if it actually is playing. Like I don't know if it can play when you play it, but I want to see if it does. So I'm going to send it to you on Instagram right now or on Facebook right now.
You won't because the computer does not talk to Instagram.
No, I'm sending it to Facebook. I said the wrong platform.
Okay.
I'm tired too.
Just go to the grocery store and buy the frozen burgers.
Oh, yeah, you could just do it that way too.
Oh man. Oh no. For a 1 hour drive, you will be disappointed. Yeah. Like for a 5-minute walk, you'd be disappointed. Yeah, so when I told the guys they couldn't have White Castle anymore, you know what they did? They ordered food from the cafe across the street, and they liked that too. And it's like, cool, you're supporting a small business and not White Castle.
Okay, I sent it to you. It's going through. Cool. So, remember I showed you I did the updated Let It Snow.
Yeah.
So there's a little video I made with it, but it's gonna take a few seconds.
Are we gonna get demonetized?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Then it may not get played. So
no, what do you mean? But no, there's nothing inappropriate on it. It's just it has a clip of the TV show.
Oh, okay. All right.
Embedded
We'll take a
into
look.
my clip.
We'll take a look after Messenger restarts on my computer. All right. So
And
what have you been doing lately?
I also have a bully that's in the pressure pot right now that I'm hoping doesn't look like ass, because I did like inject one wing with red and one with green, you know, because like Merry fucking Christmas and shit. So hopefully it doesn't look like shit when it swirls together at the tip, because I could definitely see that happening with green and red. So we'll see what happens with that.
Okay.
The children are having their pageant thing where, you know, baby Jesus and all that stuff, and I get to leave when that happens. So I've been watching them practice singing, and it is hilarious because their choir teacher she don't know how to teach children, and it is like, it is adorable. No, she's young, and it is adorably hilarious because these kids, they will give you a run for your money. These specific set of children will definitely give you a run for your money if you let them, and she lets them. Like, she gave them like clang clang toys, like cymbals and other shit, and I was like, and I looked at her straight up like, but why? Like, and but when they wouldn't listen, and they were like smashing them like at the wrong times, and like she's giving them sheet music to read, and they're like 5.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you need to put an older buddy in between each group to help them read. So this week's going to be a little different, so we can help her. But the shit was hilarious because I was like, all right, we're done with these symbols. I'm going to give you guys something way cooler because they're fun and colorful. And they were like, they're like the softest sounding, like shake, 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 shake. Like the softest little maraca, like they're eggs. They're little eggs that they're like. So they got to play with something while they were listening to their music, and she's leaving like I'm like, girl, get a grip. So that's
you gotta learn it, right?
That's been fun, and I love it because like they're so adorable, and like this one baby that's there, they're like, he's gonna be baby Jesus, and I was like, okay. You enjoy that. That's what I've been doing besides baking cookies for them tomorrow.
Somebody's got to play the role of baby Jesus.
Yeah, and he's a real cute kid. He's the one that I got to walk around on, like after yoga or whatever for a little bit, so like he could go to sleep. And I sang him Taylor Swift, and I told his mom, and I was like, just so you know, your baby likes Taylor Swift. So when like he's actually there and he's in the nursery and he gets all fussy, I'll like sometimes they'll like call me down the stairs and I'll just start humming him humming Taylor Swift to him.
Very good.
It's just so stupid because I'll be like humming half her music to him in a dark room, and people are like,
well, hey,
mind me.
Yeah, you know, that's right. All right, let's see. Wait a minute. Okay. Does
it actually play? Because I know Kevin's seen it. I know David's seen it. You probably haven't seen it because you don't look at anything I post.
Who, me?
Yes.
I look at everything.
Does it actually play with volume? No, it doesn't. Boo. Well, it defeats the purpose. It defeats the whole purpose if it doesn't have volume to it.
What? What are you saying?
The video. I have like because there's a voiceover on it, and
then at the end, I'm listening to it.
Oh,
anybody else hear the voiceover? I heard it.
No.
Why the fuck do I get the voice?
Probably because it's their computer. Huh? That's one way for them to not get it to play. But I clipped it in with the part of the Celebrity Jeopardy where he's like, "I'll take the tits now for $800, Alex."
Oh. Yeah, dude.
So
like,
I nuanced him. He has cute little updates on him, and he is in Anaheim at the moment.
Okay, very cool. Very cool.
Cheers for overnighting things, and it cost him $60. Yeah, trust me. That's exactly how I felt when I printed that pirate ship label. I was like, ugh.
You don't hear? Okay, so I guess I'm privy to hearing that. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh well, Kevin's seen it already, so fuck it. Go to my Instagram and look at it. It's cute.
Okay, I look at everything. Hey, Jason, how's it going? All right, so let's see.
Hi, Jason.
I'm gonna share. See, I finished 7 things this week. I'm gonna share them all. Where is it? Yeah, so I finished. There we go. Share, and then we're going to go full screen. So I finished this after months and months and months of procrastinating and putting off things and making various decisions. And yeah, thank you. I love how it came out. There's part of the blacklight shot. There's a side shot of it. Apparently, it shot better in a portrait mode, even though, you get the beef forearm and you get a blurred out profile.
Portrait mode's the best. It's so weird.
Like in blacklight, regular mode works great. Oh, what the fuck? Huh. And then I painted 6 Cthulhu book nooks that are a little smaller than a VHS tape.
I saw your pictures on Instagram, and I love those.
Thank you. And there's more king. Okay, I guess they're out of order. Whatever. There's the blacklight shot of the Cthulhus. Not my normal blacklight setup. This is me shining a flashlight in the upstairs. And there's more King Corpse. There's the blacklight shot that I really like of it because it's got all the right colors to it.
He's so pretty.
So that was cool. I ended up showing that as a live. I ended up finishing that up on a live stream, or mostly finishing it on a live stream Monday, and then just ended up doing like bits and pieces of it Tuesday, so I could get it, bits and pieces on Monday, so I could get it done and varnished completely by Tuesday or Wednesday, so I could have it on my store by Wednesday. And the whole plan was to get it to market before Decon. So yeah, and then we had some other couple of the things to chit chat about for the night. Let's see. So last week you mentioned that you tried a brand new tool and it was too high speed and sent one of your toys across the room, right?
Oh yeah, it's funny. I've been trying to figure out how to get a new one.
Oh, what, a new toy or a new?
No, a new one that has variable speeds that won't send my shit flying across the fucking room.
All right. And did this happen because you had because you were unfamiliar with it, or just like, was it the first time using this thing, or?
Yeah, but I've used it since, and it's a pretty consistent problem. So, like, how my bullies look. It has like the wings like that, and then it has like the bullet sticking out the top. So when I try to get in here, in between the part, the wing and the bullet, it's so fast that even if I am holding it very firmly and I go in light, like barely touching it, it goes zoom. And I'm holding on now, so it doesn't fling out, but I like, when I feel it, I like pull it away. And it happens on the bottom too. So if I try to like get the butt of the bullet like to buff, send that shit, it'll try to send that shit flying. It's just, it's so fast And I keep thinking, like, is it because it needs variable speeds?
It's
And
probably because it's a
I
one
don't
speed
know.
says all thing. And yeah.
Yeah. And it's
So,
not meant for what I'm using it for.
okay.
It's meant
So
for,
I,
like, mechanics and shit.
right. Okay. Well, I wanted to relate and I wanted to share a story because, like, and I haven't wanted to talk about it for over 2 weeks because, um, anyway, so like a few weeks ago, I posted a thumbs up picture on Instagram, and the caption was, "Thanks to holiday sales, it pays for my ER visit or my yeah." So I ended up putting a Fosner bit. For those who don't know what a Fosner bit is, it is designed to punch very big holes in wood. I put a Fosner bit into my left hand 2.5 weeks ago, and I've been pretty embarrassed about wanting to talk about it because it's the first shop.
No.
It's the first shop injury I've had that required stitches. So in 35 years of using a wood shop, I finally got an injury that required
There's nothing
medical
to be
attention.
embarrassed about,
And
though.
so like when you all of a sudden put two vaginas in your hand because of an injury, yeah, it's like, yeah. So now I have a stigmata. So like there were 13 stitches in there, but I've been thinking about what you said last week about with your thing, and like why this happened is because I was using a drill that I was unfamiliar with, but I got really comfortable using it really fast, and that comfort level on something that I wasn't really familiar with, like I lost grip on something and thunk, right in, and yeah. So
That's the thing. Like, I could feel my hand if I'm using
so
it too
like
long, wanting to go into it.
so yeah. Hey Matt, how's it going?
Oh, that makes me
So
so sad
yeah,
to hear.
so like, well, I'm the guy who stitched me up. He was like, "Wow, you didn't hit a tendon or a bone or anything." I'm like, "Yeah." So very much, I consider myself lucky, right? Um, and right now, it just feels like a giant callus that is it's a little tender, but like the idea. So the safety preaching less the safety preach for the night is like, and it goes back to something Adam Savage was sharing when after he had this massive finger injury that he had shared on Tested, is that like never get comfortable with your tools, like always treat them like they're going to mutilate you, because the moment you stop doing that, it could have been a
It
lot
will.
worse, Matt. Like it could have been so much worse. So like the only real um like casualties was like the time, because like the last 2 weeks has been pretty precious on trying to get stuff done on deadlines, and not everything got met. And the roll of paper towels that I had to use to clot, and then like like I grabbed a roll of shop paper towels because I'm at the maker space, and I'm just bleeding into the
No.
sink, and I'm like, I thought I was going to puke in the sink, and I'm like, just don't puke in the wound. I didn't. And then like I realized as I'm like, I've got a clenched handful of paper towels, and I'm like, oh, look at that, see that big red wet mark on there, that's blood. So like I just took the roll of paper towels with me, so like yeah. And then like a couple days later, I'm like, here's two rolls back, because so yeah, like it was scary as hell, and I'm gonna consider myself lucky that all it was just all the layers of skin and a little tearing open of everything else, and nothing that some stitches and antibiotics didn't cure or didn't take care of. But oh yeah, it was terrifying for a while. Like once I figured out I could drive and put all my shit away at the space one-handed and stuff, and then like I'm on my way to the urgent care, and I just call Alicia. I'm like, I think I'm going to be late. She's like, what's that? Why is that? I'm like, I'm going to the urgent care because I have a stupid shop injury. And she's like, oh, must be bad if you're going there. I'm like, yep, it sure is. And then I got to the urgent care, and there's a big ass sign that says you're out. There's a estimated 3-hour wait. So I'm like, go show my driver's license. And the lady's like, where are you here for? I'm like, because of this. And I'm just holding up the clenched hand with the paper towel that is slowly turning like that.
She got you right in there, didn't she?
Yeah, and she's like, don't go away. So she triaged me to.
I'll be right back.
Everybody else has the sniffles, and they want to be like, yeah, it totally is. Like, yeah, it totally is. But like I said, it's like the dumbest thing I've done in the shop, and like, yeah. So.
Do you know what an immersion blender is?
Oh yeah.
So once upon a moon, okay, like 10 years ago, after I had my last back surgery, I was like, I want to bake something. Like I'm in the mood, and I was making strawberry sauce, and I put the immersion blender on the counter, and the immersion blender started to fall off the counter, and my natural instinct was catch it. And it had just lovingly tapped the only part of the thing that turns on the machine, and it went zoop zoop. And I had 13. So that's why I said, oh, we twins. Wait, which hand is it? Is your left one?
It's the left.
Yeah, we twins. 13 stitch twins.
Can't do any target shooting for another.
And like sometimes I can't feel it.
Oh,
sometimes I can't feel it. And like when I started playing pool, like I used to not be able to rack that. Now I can feel it like most of the time, but like I wouldn't be able to rack it, and I would have to be like, I would have to like ask my opponents like, do you mind? Because I can't feel this finger. And I remember like, holding it with paper towels and everything, and my dad being like, get the fucking blood out of the kitchen sink. And I'm like, who gives a fuck what sink it's in? Like I'm just trying to stop the bleeding. And the man's yelling at me going like, if you don't stop yelling, I won't take you to the hospital. And I'm like, what?
It's conditional.
I was like,
so yeah, so big old.
But it is embarrassing, like, because it is embarrassing. I didn't think about it until like saying that out loud, because you're like, these things, these tools, and your brain is like, how could I have let that happen?
No. Yeah. Well, I had a piece of lumber kickback on me like 2 years ago, and it was a small piece, and it left a sizable bruise. I'm like, all right. And that was like probably the most embarrassing injury up to that date. Ooh. And but I used that injury as a life lesson to somebody else like a week later, because like that Halloween of 2022, yeah, and I had this lady trying to cut an oversized piece of lumber on an undersized table saw, and I was like trying to convince her that it was a really bad idea. And I'm just like, it's Halloween, it's 10:30 at night at a co-op shop where you can come and go when you want. And like I had to get this other member saw that I was struggling trying to convince this lady not to do what she was going to do. And she ended up coming to back up my play because she saw what was going on. She understood what I was trying to do. So I ended up just lifting up my shirt and being like, you see this? This is from a cedar plank. It's the stupidest injury I've ever got from that table saw. And that's pretty much the origin story of why I made that table saw sticker. That's my second best-selling sticker.
Oh my God, his kiln story. That's right. That's
right. Oh,
the
kiln story is awesome. Oh yeah. That kiln story is awesome. But that's not because of my stupidity. That's because of somebody
else's. Yeah. It's like
glad you remember that story.
Yeah. Look at you paying attention and giving a shit.
But like that the table saw sticker has been a great fucking seller for the last 2 weeks because everybody's like, "Oh, my dad does woodworking. I need one of those." Or my somebody knows so and so. I'm like, great. And then like I've sold prints because of it. Because I'm like, well, I have a print too if you want to. Oh, we'll hang that up in this place. Great. I had this one lady who's like, well, my brother makes guitars and I don't know if he has a table saw. If he does, I'll buy one. And she's like, she spends 20 minutes trying to find out that her brother does not have a table saw. And then she's like, well, I think it's pretty funny. I'll buy it anyway. I'm like, all right, cool.
Can't say no to that.
A bench bar. Oh my gosh. Wasn't paying attention and somehow dropped a 25-pound. I dropped a lantern on a toe while I was redoing my mudroom. I was putting the epoxy paint on my mudroom. And I was doing it late at night and I had already turned off the power on the light so I could do something else. So I'm painting by lantern. And yeah. And then I see the lantern drop. I'm like, not on my new floor. And I reach out to grab it. It bounces off the stairs and right onto my toe. Lantern works great. Took 3 hits to the cement and my toe, and it's still pretty good. But yeah, all right. So tell that story.
I dropped a fire extinguisher on my foot when I worked at Gap, and they told me I couldn't claim they tried to tell me I couldn't claim workman's comp, and I was like, how can I not? I'm not like, okay. So the woman asked me to make her coffee. Like the manager asked me to make her coffee. And it was next to the coffee maker. And it was precariously hanging on the wall. And the thing just fell off the wall and hit me in the foot. And I was like, I am claiming workman's comp. You fucking get out of here.
All right. So, 15 bucks.
Now that we're done with work injuries.
Correct. Nice one.
Oh my God.
All right, so like apparently we're doing a little bit of a recap from last week for this week, which is all right. So last week we also talked about some projects that we just have lingering around, and getting that King Corpse finally done. It was kind of is nice because it's been one of the bigger, not my biggest project that I have lingering around, and so I thought I would. So Nicole, how many great big projects did you talk about last week?
Great big projects?
Yeah, because you have like projects that are big, or if not projects per se, tasks that have to get done that have been lingering around for quite a while before your projects get done.
Yes.
So.
Oh, how many?
Yeah.
Let's see. One. I can actually see them, so I'm counting. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. How many of those projects? How many of those projects are more than 2 months old?
If there's 5, 4.
Okay. So here's the challenge.
How many are a year old? 4.
No. I'm willing to wager almost any project you have could be done in 2 weeks.
It could be done in probably like 2 days.
Okay. So there's my challenge to Nicole for this the new year.
This little shithead told me he was giving me a challenge. Okay.
I told you I was going to do this, and I've set this up.
Do I have to tell you what they are now?
You could choose to if you want. I will tell you. Did I squeak or her squeak? She squeaks all the time. Did I do it? I might have. Like so much dairy in that egg.
I do that. Yeah, that's me. That's me.
All right. So I will. I have a project that
I have to set up my resin printer. Okay. I have to test print it. Obviously, I don't count setting up the printer and setting up the queue. No, it's not.
What setting
up the printer? Yes.
Testing out the printer is part of the setup.
I have to set up the cleaning station. Okay. I have to move a desk out of here and a new one in, and I have to put my Christmas tree up.
Okay. So here's my challenge to you. Like, I would just flat out challenge you to finally get a completed test print. But I'm going to challenge you to finish one of your big ass projects in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I will show you what I'm going to fucking do. And so my part of this is to finish this lovely lady. So yeah.
Ooh, yay.
So she has sat on my shelf for months and months. She sat unprimed forever. And then when I base coated it, yes, I just wiped off the boot. So yeah, so my goal for the next 2 weeks is to have this completed. And yeah. So you don't have to tell me what project you have, but pick one of those 5.
Okay.
Don't spend 5 fucking days figuring out which fucking project.
No, I'm gonna get the printer. Well, I'm gonna get them all done because I have to.
In 2 weeks, you're gonna get all 5 done. No, my challenge is to get one done and then move on to another one.
Okay, fine. I'll see how many.
Challenge is for one project. Not to say you can't do anything else, because I will be doing other things besides this one. But this lovely lady is my goal.
I want to get my printer running. My printer is my goal, and then finishing, like, besides the desk, because that's kind of like, I don't know, whatever. I want to finish the custom that was initially supposed to be at that Raw Man show, but I picked a different piece to go to it. So it was like a backup that I started, and I really would like to finish that.
Okay.
So that's the second art goal, but the main one is to get the printer going, because I saw on my Facebook, like, memories that I literally said to Dawn, Dawn or Don't Care. I was like, Dawn, I got it out the box, and it was literally December 11th, 2022, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I've had this for a year sitting not on this desk, not on this table, because I actually switched the table like the other day, so I got one of the desks in here. I was like,
but hanging around for a year
with I have resin, I have the rubbing alcohol, I have everything, but like my brain that goes like, you're gonna fuck it up, 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 you're gonna fuck it up. And I've said to myself, like, ever since Jen passed, like, do the shit that she told you to start doing too, because she did the same thing. She had a printer and she wouldn't use it because she's like, I'm gonna fuck it up. So when she was in the hospital, we talked about like, get your shit like printed, get the things going, and I'm like, okay. And it's been 2 months and I still haven't. And I'm like, all right. Okay. So that's my challenge to myself, that specific one. So one of the 5, but hopefully that one.
Okay.
I like how you're holding it like a baby. You're like,
or a star-crossed lover that I can't make eye contact with.
I love it though.
So yeah, I mean, like, for those like, I don't think I've shared even many pictures of the process for this on Instagram. So the steps that I've had to go so far is I had to clean, which I don't like to do. I had to clean up the joints for where the snakes connect and magnetize them. It was not a pleasant thing to have to do. It never is. And then clean up some of the mold lines, some, because I know I missed some, and then patch up some of the gaps. Fortunately, Harryhausen had a very simple sculpting style, so no problem there. And then cleaning it and priming it, and the priming was kind of fun, because then I ended up hitting it with colored primers all over the place. And then this is the first coat of airbrush and the first brushed on coat, and now I'm like, most of it's going to be airbrushed, I think, and it's probably going to be red. So yeah, So green is the base coat before I go anywhere else. But yeah, so like it's been base coated for months and months, and that's unacceptable nowadays. So yeah, like I would like to
Especially
get
for
this project done.
you.
Well, yeah, it's yeah, I don't know why. So, but she's going to get done in 2 weeks. That's the big goal. That's not to say I'm going to finish. I'm going to stop doing other stuff because there's going to be days where I want to do something else, or there's going to be times where I can't work on it because it's drying or whatever. But like once I get it to be in a varnish state, it's like I'm going to take it in the morning to varnish it. I'm going to probably hang out at the makers for most of the day to babysit it, and I'll bring it home that same fucking day. So yeah.
And ta-da!
And of course, you know, like the weather has been unseasonably warm in Minnesota this year, which I am not complaining. Because having an event right fucking now, a week before Christmas, and it's above freezing is great for loading up and unloading. So like tomorrow's supposed to be a blistering 38 degrees. And that's great. The event is only from 11 to 4 tomorrow.
We're supposed to have like a baby hurricane tomorrow.
I know. You guys are all... Everybody's getting all fucked up. We're all getting fucked up weather.
And my godfather's here, and I was like... He's like, oh, I'll call you at 12. And I was like, all right, but we might be underwater, so good luck with that. And he moved to Miami, and he's like... Why is it when I come up here it's like that? And I was like, I don't fucking know, but you brought it with you. That's why.
And actually, like the next week or next 10 days, we have one day where the high is going to be below freezing, but the rest of them are going to be in the high 30s, low 40s, which is stupid warm for December here. Yeah. So anyway. See how
I really like to get an airbrush. That just made me think of it. Like looking at your Medusa made me think about it.
Oh, I love my airbrush. Oh, and then like sometime this week, because I will be cleaning up. So I will be doing a live stream. I didn't want to do it while my hand was all jacked up. I didn't want to do it while I was in stitches still. So on my other YouTube channel, I have a live stream of me cleaning my nice airbrush because I have three. I guess four. I have four airbrushes. One is a really nice one. One is broken beyond, and I can't get replacement parts for it yet. And I have two that I got from Amazon that are like the Amazon Masters brand, and they're kind of terrible. But I have them for spare parts. But they're kind of like, they're crappy airbrushes, but I can shoot out crappy paint with it too. So like, and I don't mind. It's like a beater car, you know, like you don't care what happens to the car because
you use it if you need it.
Yeah, but like I've been using one a lot because like it's a crappy airbrush, but I wouldn't call it a beginner airbrush, even though it's cheap. It's not good. All right. But if you have more knowledge in the tool, you're going to know how to be able to finesse it to actually obey or do things that it normally wouldn't want to do. Okay. But it's also like people buy the cheapest airbrush they can so they can learn on it, right? And can't get much cheaper than the Masters brand. So sometime this week, I'm going to stream breaking down one of them and doing a complete tear down and cleaning, deep cleaning on it. Because I did that with my fancy Krios one, and you know, it only took an hour and a half, and that's with a lot of explanation and stuff. But I had somebody who watched it from somebody from a Discord that I'm on, watched the video, and is the only person who's commented on it. And his comment was something like, "Thanks for breaking it down this way. it makes me want to use my airbrush as opposed to other people who complain about how hard they are. And I'm like, hey, that's cool. I've inspired somebody to actually like go do, which is what it's what I try to do, right? And then like, so on the Discord, I asked the dude, I was like, hey, how'd it go? And he's like, well, I had to get my mom to go buy such and such a thing. And I'm like, what? Like, the dude's 16, right? And so I use a gun oil to clean my airbrush, and so he apparently wherever he's from or he's at, you can't buy such a thing under the age of 18. So he had to get his mom to buy him this shit.
Oh
like,
my God.
good on you, good on mom for helping you out. And like, all right. He's like, I had to explain to her and show her the video that you use it to clean your hairbrush, and I just wanted to be prepared. I'm like, good on you, dude. But I also talked about, like, not in that video, but I've talked about using Bombay Sapphire Gin as an airbrush thinner. But I mainly qualify it with, if you're of age, use this instead of airbrush thinner because it's cheaper and it works just as well. But you have to be 21 to ride. So
it's fair. That's pretty
hey,
fair.
you know what, David, when I was teaching after school art, I would always say, like, I'm not going to be the next Picasso, but my job is to make sure I had a hand in the training of whoever it is. So, like, so yeah, it's like I used to have an old adage of to create, inspire, and teach, and that was like the old adage for years and years. And I don't know what the fuck happened to that. All right, so at this event,
you started teaching.
Oh, dude, I liked inspiring. When I can get the kids to actually like have that spark of inspiration, it's fun. All right, even when yeah, like I had this one dude, like, what an annoying kid. But like one day I was all pleased with something he was doing, and I put a happy face on his hand, and he was like, oh, boy. And then like I'm working with another kid, I turn around and now he has drawn with his dry erase marker all these fucking happy faces on his hand, because now he's like, he had done such a great job, because now he's like considering he's grading his own work by putting his own happy faces on his hands. And I look around and I'm like, hey, what's that? He's like, and I'm like, you drawing happy faces on your hand? And then my supervisor's like, we don't draw on our hands, blah blah blah. And I'm like, it's my fault. It's totally my fault. And then she's like, only Mr. S can draw on your hand.
We don't draw on our hands. Takes it back. Only he can.
Mr. S can. Yeah. All right, cool. I was just telling Alicia this story from like, because like I compare Munion's behavior to one of the kids that I used to work with, and this sweet, wonderful kid that would do almost anything you ask of her. She didn't like one of her teachers. Of course, I didn't like working for this teacher either. And so one day, like, you know, I'm working with this kid, reading a story, one of her favorite ones, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, it's time to go to gym. We got to go. And I close the book up, and the girl goes, no, finish the story, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm hemming and hawing. I'm like, yeah, I could finish it, blah, blah, blah. And my supervisor at the time was a fucking bitch. She just goes, no, she has to go to gym. She has to get used to the idea of going to the gen ed classes, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh. And this kid with a speech impediment who's always been pretty dang good, almost always does what I ask of her, and everybody else does what everybody's asked of her. She looks up at this teacher and goes, shut the fuck you. And I'm like, oh, I guess we're not going to gym now because the kid's going to be in a timeout. And my supervisor just turned up the bitchiness. She's like, no, she said that to get out of work. You send her to gym now. And so, all right, come on, pumpkin, let's go. And she's just like, she stands up and she's like, looks at my supervisor, shut the fuck you! And she stands up and she stomps away, and she's like, she keeps saying it as we're leaving, and then as we're going out the door, she does this number. Shut the fuck you! She's fucking leave. She leaves. And our classroom was the farthest from the gym in the whole building. And she's just screaming this as we're walking to the gym. And I'm like, yep, oh. And I'm thinking to myself, somebody's going to complain.
I shouldn't even laugh at this, but it's fucking hilarious.
No, because like I'm trying to tell it as funny as I can. And it's, the behavior is like she's pissed. She hates this teacher. Like, I didn't care for her either. But like, while we're walking there, I'm like, well, I'm sure one of these teachers is going to complain to my principal, and I cannot wait to explain the situation to my principal. And we get to the gym, and the gym teacher loves the kids. He has a special place in his heart for special ed kids. And so we show up there, and he's like, oh, how's it going? And she goes to him, shut the fuck you! And she's red now. And he's like, well, what's going on? I'm like, oh, Kylie didn't want her to go to, I didn't mean to say her name. But anyway, teacher didn't want her to go to the, teacher wanted her to come to gym, even though she didn't want to. What's wrong with you? You don't want to come to gym? Shut the fuck you! She's screaming at her gen ed class is already in and stuff. And I'm like, all right, kid, go sit in the circle. And she's still screaming. She's stomping at it. She's then in the fetal position with her face on the floor, facing the floor. And she is screaming this, just screaming this. I know she is red because, yeah, you can see it in her ears. You could just, she's mad, and she just keeps screaming this over and over again.
Poor baby girl.
And all the kids are like, Mister, she's saying a bad word. He's like, I don't hear anything. He's just fucking cool as a cucumber. I don't hear anything. She finally chills the fuck out 10 minutes, 15 minutes before we're done with the gym, which is an hour long. And yeah, she's playing along, blah, blah, blah. And when we leave, I make her say goodbye to the teacher, the gym teacher. As we're leaving, he's got the kids around, and he's like, some of you may or may not have heard a bad word that you thought you heard here. We do not say that in this room. You do not say it in your classroom. Do you understand? And they're like, uh-huh. So we left. And she was fine for the rest of the day, but for an hour we had that blow up, and I was just like, wow. So like I tell this story, and so I tell this story to Alicia. I told this story to Alicia about an hour and a half ago, and she's kind of laughing at it. And I mean, I'm pantomiming the whole thing, and she's like, I'm like, I haven't told you this story. She's like, no, and that time, and she's like, you were always angry with that teacher, so you didn't want to talk about anything in that classroom. Like, that's my best story from that classroom. Like, that's it. Like, that's all I got.
So, so the moral of the story is shut the fuck you.
But I was like, she's so mad that she wants to tell this teacher to shut the fuck up and fuck you, and she's just merged them together. I'm like, all right, cool. That's what we do.
Now I'm going to say that to people. Just shortcut it. Like I learned it from a very young girl who had a very wise idea.
This was one of the sweetest kids I had ever worked with. Who every once in a while, you get that stubborn streak going on. They don't want to do anything, or they want to goof off a little, and it's like fine, and they know how to reroute that. But this, I was like, fuck it. Fucking bitch set her off. I'm gonna let the bitch take care of it. I'm not putting out this fucking fire.
You're not the one who put it. You're not the one who said it.
I'm like, yeah. So yeah, that was it. All right. So this event, this event is the first one. So Homespun Events. That's the name of the group that is running this event. They ran the event last week. and they ran. So they've run 3 of the past 4 events that I've done locally. All right, and it's it's at the state fairground, and it's going well. Like they've had like it died by about 4:20, but up for the first 5-6 hours, it was booming. Like people are walking. Like I had to actually get
Right.
like
I got
5 6. I had to
5 hours.
get 5 or 6 people to line up because I was like so busy trying to sell toys and or plushies and stickers and magnets. I was like, all right, I gotta have. I was like, folks, I've not had this before. I gotta have you line up in a queue so I can take care of everybody. And they kind of did. And I was like, I took care of them. And I was like, and Alicia was there watching. And she's like, wow, you had a rush. I'm like, I've never had to deal with this before. It's always just been like one at a time. But all of a sudden, there's like a wave of people that want to pick up shit. And like, I just want to be like, yeah, Kev, you know what I'm talking about. Kev's dealt with way bigger shit than I have. But yeah, it was cool, and like I bought these plush toys to sell at a different event, and like last week I had asked, hey, is it okay if I bring these in there? Because some art fairs are very like, if you didn't make it, don't bring it. And I was told, bring what you want, sell what you can. All right, so I brought more plush toys with me. I ran out of red pandas today. I ran out of one of the colors of dinosaurs I had, and yeah, so I'm like. Like, oh, do you have any more? Oh, nope. I have a damaged floor item that is I'm not going to sell. But you come back tomorrow. I had this one lady come to me today. Why are you? How come your plush toys are only $10? I'm like, because I didn't make them. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, you still want one? I'll take 2. I'm like, great. A couple times always lose my voice. Yeah. No, I got you, Kevin.
I very much understand that.
I've seen you been one of the hardest working dudes in the area. Like no doubt. I was like, wow, this is kind of nice having like a lot of people just rush up and want to buy multiple things at the same time. Like it's crazy too. But like my square reader, like I'm sitting on one side of my booth. My square reader is on the other side because it's where the generator is. And everybody's cool. Like, oh, you take cards? I'm like, yeah, let me set you up. But I'm going to ask you to do the tippy tap over there. Oh, and everybody's happy to make it go beep. And it's cool. So, yeah, great event. Like, my travel cost is going to be $3. So I can't complain. Like other folks, like I'll be happy to admit I'm a little jealous I'm not at Decon, but I would have lost my shirt going there. So yeah, happy with the choices I made this weekend. Yeah, so there we go. And then let's see what else.
Kevin, is Martian at Complex right now? Is
Martian's at FOMOCon? Gosh, I would hate to imagine.
Is there Complex Con this year? I guess that's my question.
I don't know. I got asked to sign up to go to Crypticon. Well, that was the other cool thing about today. Of course, every event you have other people for other events trying to see like who they can encourage to go and be at their event. And I had a Crypticon come up to me and they were like, "Oh, they like my stuff and they want to be." Complex was a couple weeks ago, I bet. So yeah, so I like after tomorrow I get to go apply to 2 more events that I didn't know about, and they were like, and the booths are like $200 and $300, so not too shabby. I think my booth cost for this month or for this event was like $300. Yeah, FOMOCon is
I'd rather spend that.
Yeah. So FOMOCon is at Mothership this weekend. Yeah, I saw some of the. I like that graphic a lot because a lot of times I see Mofo first. So.
Really?
Mhm. Yeah. I'm not sure who designed it, and I'm not sure if they had that in mind. But yeah, I see Mofo first. Because
If it's Vincent, I'm gonna laugh. Please tell me it was Vincent.
Complex booths were $8,000. Hard to compare when you're going to go for a 250 booth for a September event. Juan Chaco. Okay. Thanks, Kev.
Was it? Oh,
Juan
I was just
Chaco.
really, I was just
Dude,
really
I
hoping that
I
it
don't
was
know.
Vincent. So I could laugh at Vincent.
You've seen the graphic, Kevin. Do you see what I'm seeing too? Like, or am I the only one that just can't read well?
And you were a teacher.
You bet, dude. I'm great at teaching.
I'm the worst at grammar, and somebody goes, "And you're a teacher." I go, "I don't teach them that."
Are you kidding? I'm okay with grammar, but I have a grammarian like in here. It was purposeful. Great. I'm like, I always see it. It's like just fucking mofo. It was purposeful. I imagine so. All right, let's see. We are going to wind this down just because I am. Yeah, and I have toys that I varnished. Mofo. Yeah, I have toys that I varnished yesterday, so I could bring them in tomorrow, so I could have a couple extra pieces to have. All right, dude. So we're gonna wrap this up. Any other last minute thoughts you need to add, Nicole?
I'm gonna ask an opinion question quickly.
Okay.
My dad wants something specific for Christmas, and I've tried to order it a few times. Obviously, Christmas is next week, so don't be coming at me like, bitch. I've tried to order it a few times, and the website gives me like the 404 code when I go add to cart. It is.
Oh, just email me personally, and I'll send you one of the toys. It's cool.
Okay.
If rickstro.com is giving you a hard time, then sorry. We'll just take care of it personally.
Gotcha. Let me tell you, if I could just get away with getting my father art, that would be great. So he wants let me see if I could show you this picture, because it is the tackiest fucking thing. And it actually bothers me a little bit, to be honest, that when I asked him, when I said, "Oh, do you want me to paint this?" He said, "No." He goes, "I want you to buy it." And I was like, it is.
Oh, so he wants a road sign.
It's printed on canvas, and it's like it's the most basic shit font like ever.
Yeah, because it's a street font. So he wants a street sign of your name and somebody else's.
My sister. And in the middle it has our birthdays, and it looks like it's just copy and pasted from like Word.
Oh,
because it doesn't look like it actually is supposed to be. It looks so bad, but it won't let me add it to the fucking cart. So there. Do you think if I paint it, this man? First of all, do you think I should paint it or get the more expensive one? Because for fucking, it's a 12 by 16 and it's like $70, which is insane, in my opinion, for a print. Do I? I can't help but to laugh. Do I just paint this shit and be like, buddy?
You just go find a competitor.
But they're so tacky.
They can't be the only templated street sign facility.
But they're all tacky. And when I said, "Do you want me to paint it?" he said, "No." And I'm like,
get him what he wants. He wants his tack.
I'm trying to get out of this because this is the one that. So this is the one that's like that is available. Yes, let
Nicole,
me.
you're my
Hold
friend.
on.
You're my
Look
friend.
at how ugly this is.
And
Look at how ugly it is. And they
Nicole,
have arrows. This is so awful.
Nicole, you are my friend.
I love you
And
too,
you
Greg.
have 9 days to try and paint that.
Okay, you're fair.
Order it.
You're fair. And if he hates it, it's his fault.
Correctamundo.
I tried like so many times to order the one that he actually
just go find their
specifically
competitor
wanted
that
with
makes
like
it,
days.
because I'm sure you can. And yeah, just order it,
so
Nicole.
Mad about it.
Order it, Nicole. Whatever you think your hourly wage should be, Nicole, it's going to take you longer than your hourly wage to get that done, to get that in there. Just swallow your pride, order the dumb thing, and make your daddy happy.
So much. I love him, but I hate him so much. Like,
So
who asked your artist child
happy.
to buy like them art? What the fuck?
Yep. There you go. Hey, I had that conversation with a couple people today. They're like, "Oh, I got so and so done, and now I have to find something for my mom. She's so hard to find stuff for." I'm like, "Yeah, so's mine." "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, "I send her something I painted." Like every year she tells me, "Oh, don't send me any more art." But every year she calls me and says, "Thank you for the pretty thing." Really?
You know, I've never made him any art.
So,
I've never made him anything because he doesn't act like he never asks, and B, like if you
Nicole,
saw what his art is,
that is something he wants because it's of you and your sister.
I'm gonna buy it.
It's clearly an aesthetic he likes.
I am complaining that his art isn't hung up on the wall. It is casually sitting against the wall on the floor because he doesn't want to put holes in the wall.
Well, there you go. He can lean it against his desk, or if he has a desk, and you could also like get it if you want to make. Well, you can also like get a 3M strip thing that does the glue hook on the wall, and then you can give him and then you can hang it wherever he wants, because those 3M glue hooks are amazing. Not a paid sponsor. And yeah. Are you kidding? I have shit tons of holes in my wall because of things that I've put in there. Shelf brackets that I put up once upon a time and then I took out, or trying to find a stud because I didn't know I had lath and plaster. So yeah, like, all right, one day those holes will have to get patched when I sell the house. All right.
You can get like command strips, not you, him, but that man, whatever. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it when we get off this damn thing. I really wish that the specific one he wanted wasn't gonna didn't time out on the website, and I didn't have to like change to something different, like the second version. But I'm gonna look for a competitor. I'll do what you want. I'm gonna bite it. I'm gonna hate my life.
You're gonna be so glad that you're not gonna have to spend 7 days between now and then painting something that you're like, well, that's a stupid design. You just cool. And then like, what's going to happen on the 23rd? I should have fucking just ordered that stupid thing. And so we're just cutting out the middleman and saving you a week. I know. All right, cool. Now, before we go, happy holidays, everybody. Like,
yeah,
normally I don't. I've not been in the most festive mood. I mean, like listening to holiday music 3 days in a row will do that to you. How retailers do that? Holy shit! I don't know. 3 days in a row is
don't want to talk about it.
Crazy, and then you're off in 3 ends. Thank you, David. I just want to be like, the big thing is, I just want to save my time. Like Henry Rollins once pointed out, if somebody ever asks you to make time, you can't. Like, you cannot make time. You're given a finite amount of it. If somebody asks you if you can make time, you should tell them no, because you can't actually make it. You can set aside time for somebody, but you can't make it. So yeah, like yeah. I guess the last year before I decided to quit this public school, I was like, wow, the use of time is fucked up.
Because humans are the only people that
How we don't
things
value
that
each
count
other's
time.
times. It's fucked up, and partly because of my fatigue with the public school system, but also, you know, we got a big sense of our importance thanks to the pandemic, and
Fair.
that's not like a political jab at anybody, but all of a sudden, like, people got an amazing wake up call. Wake up for like what their values should look like. So yeah. Oh, of course we are. Actually, like, funny thing to say that, like, when I was in college, we had this, our literature teacher or professor was giving us this, we had covered this story about time, and he was and he, you know, the one thing I take away from this was like how we monetize time. And he was like, you will never ever see a clock in a mall because they want you to lose track of time. And he's like, you can call me collect if you ever see a clock in a mall. That weekend, I noticed that Cielo Vista Mall had a clock in it. Why? Because it was by the movie theater. And they want you to be punctual there. They want you to be aware of the time.
That's fun. That's
but
smart. Did you call him
but
collect?
for the most part, that teacher was right, or that professor was right. You won't see them in a mall. Like,
have I ever read you the quote on time that I love?
Say what, Nicole? Sorry, I was reading Kev's thing about makeup.
So, okay, I'm going to read this to you, and then we're going to be done because otherwise I'm going to sit here and talk about time for forever. It is from my favorite book, and it's about time, and I probably have read this. So, try to imagine a life without timekeeping. You probably can't. You know the month, the year, the day of the week. There's a clock on your wall or the dashboard of your car. You have a schedule, a calendar, time for dinner or a movie. Yet all around you, timekeeping is ignored. Birds are not late. A dog does not fret. A dog does not check its watch. Deers do not fret over passing birthdays. Man alone measures time. Man alone chimes the hour. And because of this, man alone suffers a paralyzing fear that no other creature endures, a fear of time running out.
Ooh, shop FOMOCOM, folks.
Mic drop motto for FOMOCOM.
No, that's very true.
That's deep as fuck, right?
That's very true.
That's how the book opens, and I like every time I read a Mitch Albom book, I'm just like, bruh, because he gets me on that first page, and that's how that one opened. I was like,
very cool. Yeah, like hell. Up until yesterday, I thought I've been a day off all week long. Like, just the way the week's gone. Like, what reset it was the idea that spend your money, mofo. Yeah, I know. Like, what reset my clock was the idea that I had to be someplace on Friday so that I could actually like do my thing. So yeah, like all week long, I was like,
is it tomorrow too?
Yeah, but you know, the reset was yesterday, so it's cool. Like, yesterday's Friday, today's Saturday. I, for a fact, because we're doing this, I did my one day, and then tomorrow's Sunday, and then I won't give a fuck about what day it really is until like Christmas.
I mean, is your show tomorrow?
Yeah, it wraps up tomorrow.
You've read one book in the past 15 years. That is, I've probably read 15 books in the last year.
Well, Nicole's one of those people that says audiobooks don't count, so I haven't either. So I have.
Oh my God, I am not one of those people.
Oh, good. No, I think like last books I sat down to read was during the writer's strike in the late 2000s, because of my buddy like throwing stuff at me that other people had written in their downtime. And yeah, like audiobooks have been king for the past 10 years here. All right, so Nicole, the good folks over here know you're here.
Look, I'm making Jack the Pumpkin King as Santa. Sorry.
Perfecto. So people over there know you're here at the Mad Hattress, and then people over here know I'm here because of that. Work it, and yeah. So Rick Stroh everywhere: Threads, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Oh, Josh Hamilton's story is depressing. Oh my god.
I don't know who that is.
He's a baseball player.
Okay. Well, if it's a tragic story, I'm not going to make fun of it.
No, it's not tragic. It's not. It's just that like he got sober, and while he was sober, something like okay, whatever. I'm not going to talk about it. It's just,
I'll look him up on Wikipedia.
It's this.
Okay, cool. All right, everybody. Happy holidays. Thanks for watching. Thanks for what do you want to call it? Interacting and stuff. Yeah.
Thanks for a good 30 years.
See your cousin, dude. Wow. All right. You get to give him shit for being late or missing it. All right.
Dylan's not my cousin. That's funny. I'm going to tell him that you called him that, though.
All right, cool. All right. See you in 2024, y'all. Chowski.